Then, in 2018, he sent a bunch of missiles into Syria. Why? Because the leader there used bad chemicals on his own people, and the US wanted to show him they wouldn't stand for it. They blew up the air bases where the planes with the chemicals took off. But the biggest moment of all was in early 2020. A very important general from Iran, named Soleimani, was driving in a car near the airport in Iraq. The US sent a drone to follow him. They waited for the right moment and then blew up his car with a missile. That was a huge deal because it almost started the 2026 war 6 years early. These three events, the giant bomb in Afghanistan, the missiles in Syria, and the drone strike in Iraq, showed everyone that he wasn't afraid to use the military if he thought it would make the US look strong. This strike-first way of thinking is exactly what led us to the big war we are seeing right now in 2026. While everyone is looking at the big war in Iran, there are other countries getting hit that you won't see on the nightly news. These are the secret wars. First, let's look at Yemen. In 2025, there was a 53-day-long bombing plan called Operation Rough Rider. A group of rebels there was shooting at ships in the ocean, so the US sent ships and planes to stop them. They hit over 300 targets in just 2 months. They blew up the places where the rebels kept their drones and the towers they used to see the ships. It was a very busy 2 months of fighting. Next, look at Somalia in Africa. In 2025, the US flew over 100 missions to drop bombs on a group called ISIS in the mountains. They also did the same thing in northern Nigeria. In Nigeria, they were trying to help the local people by blowing up the camps where the bad guys lived. And we can't forget Iraq. In early 2025, they used a very precise missile to hit a house and kill a top leader of ISIS who was hiding there. These fights in Yemen, Somalia, Nigeria, and Iraq are happening all at the same time. The US military isn't just fighting in the Middle East or Africa. They sent huge warships to the Caribbean Sea and the waters near Venezuela, launched an attack called Operation Absolute Resolve. They flew special teams of soldiers right into the capital city of Venezuela. Their goal was to catch the leader of that country, a man named Maduro, and bring him back to the US because they said he was helping the drug gangs. They hit buildings in the city and took him by force. This is the first time in a very long time that the US has used its full military power to take a leader of another country in South America. So, why are all these bombs falling in 2026? It's because of a plan called Peace Through Strength. The idea is that if the US hits its enemies very hard, they will be too scared to fight back. But right now, it's doing the opposite. In Iran, the 2026 war is getting bigger every day. Because the US hit the leaders in Tehran, the rest of the Iranian military is now lashing out. They are shooting missiles at US bases in other countries. This makes the US drop even more bombs to stop those missiles. It's like a circle that won't stop. The same thing is happening in the drug war. Since the US took the leader of Venezuela, the drug gangs are fighting harder, which means the US has to send more ships to the Caribbean. The map is getting more and more red dots because the military is now involved in things it used to stay out of. They aren't just protecting the US borders. They are trying to run the whole world by using force. Some people love this because they think it makes America look like a boss. Other people are scared because they think it will lead to a giant war that involves even more countries, like Russia or China. The US is currently dropping bombs in 7 different countries. That is more than almost any other time in recent history. The no new wars promise from years ago has been replaced by a many small wars reality that is quickly turning into one giant global conflict. Here is the bottom line that you need to remember. Everyone says he is the president who hates war, but the map shows he has actually dropped more bombs in more countries than people realize. We are now in a time where the US uses its military first and asks questions later. 7 countries, thousands of bombs, and a war in 2026 that is just getting started. If the current plan doesn't change, we might see even more countries added to this list before the year is over.